months. And I have been going through hell these last couple of days. And and what's the situation? Sorry. And what's the situation that have um making me feel, making me go through hell? Um, I'm thinking a lot about my father's Michael Jackson murder. When he was in therapy, he talked about me, of course, that um, he couldn't live his life, and some things that happened to him. And some of the doctors, they really thought he was delusional, and he suffered under that. He suffered. What I have find out in my investigation surrounding my dad is that he could finally express himself in the Iman, Muslim religion, and that he. So some people said Mike Jackson he became an, how do you say it? He became Muslim, but that's because he really had a good conversation with imams. And I know from my investigation about my dad that the first time he ever talked about his real feeling was with Rabin, Iranian Rabin, and the contacts separated. I think it's not the famous Rabin that you saw him on the news. It was a different Rabin people didn't know. But in the end of his life, he had a lot of support in the Iman Muslim religion. He really gave him confidence and faith. And I think also because of them, he decided to go and change his life. And that was very brave of my father. It was really, really, really brave. He was really working on himself. And he was really going to make big changes in his life. He was really going to make really, really big changes in his life. And I just had to be a little bit patient. And I knew that he was also going to share me with the world. He was going to do it with After This Is It. He was going to do that. It was a huge moment. Big change was really coming. I know that my father, that he died in peace. In peace, like that he understood what was going on with him. And I think what the most people don't know about my father, Michael Jackson, is that the addiction that he had was quite created by doctors. And it's very sad. It's absolutely abuse that he went through later on in life. his life have always educated me that I don't want to live that kind of life. I don't want to be in that situation where everyone is controlling me because they want something from me. And today, today it was a hard day for me because I was going through childhood trauma, and there's one thing that keep hurting me really deeply, and that is when the world media came into my life writing about me. They knew nothing about me, and things have been made out of content, and that means that no one have really understand me of the trauma that I have survived in being Michael Jackson secret daughter. And today I was feeling the pain that when I was 8 years old, I was living in Port-au-Prince for a very, very short time. And my friend Kennedy, he was murdered, and he was murdered, and he died in my arms. He died, and because of the war with baby dog and papa dog in Haiti. I have also write that in my book, Betrayal. But today I went back to that specific moment in my life. I was 8 years old, and it was a couple of months before I was kidnapped. And that moment in my life, that was the day in my life my childhood quite ended. And my best friend Kennedy, he was 9 years old, and he was 9, he's gonna be 10. I was 8, he was 9, he was gonna be 10. He was 1 year older than me. We came back from playing, and then a man attacked us, and he tried to stab us. And my friend Kennedy, he protected me, and they wanted to kill him, not me, because of political reason. And my friend, my best friend, even I was very small, I wanted to marry this boy. It was love of my life. And I think he is also the reason why I never want to get married, because I only met one boy, even I was a child, that I wanted to marry. I wanted to marry Kennedy. And he died. He died in my arms. He was stabbed to death in my arms in Haiti. And it was my really first death experience, being in the dark, holding my friend dying of blood. Today, I was going through these emotions again after 39 years, and realizing that I'm in pain because I'm more than just want to be Michael Jackson daughter. I'm a person. I'm a human being. That's more than want to be Michael Jackson daughter. And when I came into the world media, I felt like I was being pushing away of my suffering. And some people judging me so easily, saying this woman is crazy, saying Mike Jackson is her father. And today I was feeling like, you know what? I was really dumped in Haiti. I lost my best friend of murder. I was 8 years old. This amazing, beautiful soul have been killed in front of me, have been stabbed to death. And um, I was alone with him. And I wasn't protected because my father, Michael Jackson, had people around him that kept him in some kind of delusional illusion, dream, fiction, not the reality that you cannot do this to a child. The only person that ever get into the brain of my father was Donald Trump. He was the one who told my father, listen, you cannot put your child here. Mocienne is going to be kidnapped. Mocienne is going to go through horror. I remember when Donald Trump asked my father, Mike Jackson, please, let me take your child to California with me, to Florida with me. Just give her to me. Give her to me. He begged my father, Michael Jackson, please give her to me. Haiti is not safe. Caribbean is not safe. And the people surrounding Michael Jackson, my father, they made it all, oh, no problem. You have money. You have this. So my father never really saw the danger of putting me in Haiti where was a civil war. And when my friend was murdered in my arms, I felt abandoned by my father. And in that time, I didn't even know he was a huge superstar. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. And today I was really suffering. Today I was really suffering about that deep, deep feeling that really hurts. And this is because my case with the Dutch government is going to court this year. And I'm really going through a lot of drama. Today, someone said to me, yeah, why don't you work? Yeah, why did you quit your business for a while? You're not working. And I start to be really aggressive. And I said to him, do you know any idea how hard I've been working the last 38 years? All lawsuit I already had for my identity. Everyone have always tried to take away my identity since the day I was kidnapped, and the problem with my son, and dealing with this lawsuit with the Dutch government really get into a lot of emotions going through me. And so I said to him, do you have any idea how hard it is this time in my life? That I'm not working in a healthcare is really to protect myself, not to have a mental breakdown, not to crash, because I'm listening to my body, and I'm listening to my mind, and I am really surviving. I don't want to survive, but I am surviving this thing that I have to go through. I'm going through all kind of emotions. I don't I'm not suicidal. I don't think about suicide, but when I hear death, I think, oh, when you are dead, it's peace and quiet. Okay, that. I don't know if you when you are die, if you die, you have peace and quiet. But I'm thinking, okay, when I'm dead, peace and quiet. I would love to have a peace of quiet, and But it's not my time yet because I want the government, Dutch government, Belgium government, I want people to realize that kidnapping is real, children kidnapping is real, and there's a lot in front of it. So my conclusion every time I'm thinking that I'm saying Michael Jackson is my father is such a not important fact, because what's important is there are so many children in the world being kidnapped and they go through hell like I did. And in my case, the Dutch government never listened. And Belgium, country, they continued for years to allowing this kind of organizations to kidnap children. So, and that Michael Jackson is my secret father for the world, and people trying to make me feel embarrassed of where I come from. That's that's a trauma. That's a trauma that I'm realizing I have, and I can deal with this trauma, but it's there. People trying to embarrass me. People trying to make me feel uncomfortable because they don't believe, what they don't believe, you know, what, because they don't want to believe, or they want to believe, or they want to prove, what, that I'm thinking, I'm not yours, you're not mine, what? Did I ask the press to write about my private thing, going to court in 2010, and then as for my DNA testing, what is that of your business? Is that your business? I went to court claiming my inheritance right of my father. Some people said to me, "Oh, why don't you still don't have your share of the inheritance of my father, Michael Jackson?" Okay, what is money going to bring me? Is money? Is it going to bring back my father? Is money going to bring back that child that was murdered 39 years ago, 9 months before I was kidnapped? Was it 9 months? No, it wasn't 9 months. It was in, yeah, it was in 1983. In the end of 1983, it was before my father burned his head, because my father, he found the murder. He and sometimes I think, did that bring him in problem, that he had justice for this boy Kennedy that was murdered. I always feel all my life his soul is with me. He died so peacefully in my arms, you know. Yes. I'm living a life that most people don't understand. And sometimes when I look at YouTube, other videos with funny families, so many bullshit clips, videos, people say making jokes, showing how they have a nice life. I think, oh God, they have a nice life. People like to look at nice. People like to look at nice life, and my my life is not that nice. But you know what? If I ever get murdered, then at least people have know really my thoughts. I'm not trying to sell a nice life. No, just trying to make people understand that lives can be very different than what you think it can be. And There's a part of my father, Michael Jackson, that people don't know, that I'm not going to be quiet about it. Sometimes I look at the video of Martin Bashir just to feel the realness. My father was really real in that interview. He was really allowing people to get in, and I know that he made this video for me because he wanted to explain things to me. He wanted in the Martin Bashir video, my father really confirmed things from my childhood to me, just to make sure that I know that I wasn't imagining things about my dad, Michael. And he was explaining things. And I appreciate that. When I look at the Martin Bashir video, I don't look at Michael Jackson playing around. No, I just really looking at what he's saying. What he's saying. Not the artist thing, but really he's deep. And what I like the most about the Martin Bashir video is I hear my father low voice, low. Not not the artist voice. Oh yeah. I really hear his voice as I remember. I remember the first time when I saw my father as a king of pop. I was thinking, his voice. What is wrong with his voice? His voice is so and I think no, that's not my father's voice. That's cannot be. And later on, he really let people hear his voice. His voice. And when I look at the Martin Bashir video, I can really feel my dad from Big Part. I can really feel my dad presence. When I was young, I knew that my father was really abused by my grandfather, Joe. I was raised by that happened. But I never know that he was a huge superstar, that he had to perform. No, I did not know that. One of the most, for me, funny things in the world will always be that people portraying that Katharine Jackson, my grandmother, was my father's everything. No, it was only for the show. It was only for the show. My father knew very well who his mother was. Very stinky woman. Yeah. Today in the news, I heard that Lisa Mary Presley had a heart attack, cardiac arrest, and she had to receive CPR. And for me, it will always be funny because I remember my father having a picture of her near his bed. All my life been looking at small Lisa Mary Presley photo. Later he married her, and my father, he made a huge puzzle for me, and in that puzzle he really confirming a lot of things, like he really understand my mind. Today I was also really crying that he was murdered, and that nobody believed him that he was going to be murdered. When I was kidnapped and I spoke to the private detective and I told them that my father was going to be murdered, they said, no, no, no. He's not going to be murdered. He has bodyguard. 2009, when my father was murdered, some of them contact me. They say, God damn it, Mocienne, you are right. Your father was murdered. Yes. Because when I was kidnapped, they threatened me. If my father and I will ever come back together, they'll kill him. They'll kill me. And it never slept my mind. I'm not scared to die. Let me tell you one thing. I'm doing this lawsuit with the Dutch government that has many risks, but I want to do it. I really feel like going through this process is when the world find out. When the world found out Michael Jackson is indeed my DNA father, I feel like I'm in a state in my life that I can really close myself from the world about this. I'm reading things what Prince Harry is saying. I don't watch his interviews because he keeps saying the same thing over and over again. Media is trying to manipulate him that he doesn't know what he's saying. But sometimes he just ignore some topic because he already went into that. So people saying that he doesn't remember that he talked about discrimination with Oprah Winfrey, Meghan Markle, and discrimination. And I think he doesn't go into that because he doesn't want to go to emotions. Like, it's not that he forgot, but he just don't want to just ignore the questions, because if he answer the question, he has to go much deeper in the question, and he doesn't want that. So his way of public speech, dealing with the media, really also educate me. You know what? When the world find out Michael Jackson is my dad, they have to deal with my YouTube channel, because I have nothing more to say to the press. I'm not going to be on CNN, or I have been in CNN. Music Room have talked about me. Michael Jackson having a secret daughter in 2003. Very creepy year for me. It was, for 2 years, I really received phone calls. People were gonna get me because they knew I was Mike Jackson's secret daughter. Scary. It was really scary. And I mean, when my father was murdered, I knew, okay, they were going they were going to start this again, threatening me my whole life. Yeah. Going to court, claiming my inheritance was also really to keep myself safe. No one have to call me anymore. Said, we know, you are my secret daughter. We are going to get you. Nobody have to try to what they did. I'm not going to repeat it. What they did again. Situation has changed. And my father, he have make sure that I never stand alone in life. He knew very well what was coming. He knew he was going to be murdered. He knew it. And no one listened to him. Today I was just really crying. I was really, really, really crying. I feel I'm healing. And my healing process, I have to go through pain. And my YouTube channel is not going to be where I'm only happy or no. This is me. This is me. I'm going through hell at this moment. I'm going through hell. And every day I count my blessings. I do. Because that's the only way for me to keep it up. Yeah. So there was Mocienne Petit Jackson from my bed. It's very late at night. And you wanted to talk to you about this. And I want people to know me for me. That's what I want. So what I really, I'm not asking people to agree with me. I just want to be respected. Just want to be respected in my own way, respected in my life. I don't feel that I should have started my YouTube channel any earlier. No, I'm talking because I want people to understand where my lawsuit with the Dutch government is about, where I come from, and about my father. He's my dad. Nobody can touch that. And about my inheritance, everything. I have a plan. Everything for every. I believe in life. There is a blueprint in life, and um, and the steps that I make, the step that I do, and the blueprint. A big part of my blueprint in life is already clear, and some parts are not clear. And I'm the kind of person I really listen to my soul and my body that guide me through life. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that money is not my answer. It's easy, not my answer. I know that my father was murdered for his money, and I was dumped so that other people can have my money, my inheritance. They murdered my father. They abused my father. To me, they did horrible things. But we talk about that later. I want to say thank you for following my channel. It's midnight here, very late. Going to try to sleep, and tomorrow start positive again and counting my blessings. I know my father rests in peace. I know. And I know that to the day that I die, I will always miss him. But it's okay. That's a part of life. I'm allowed to feel that way. So it was Mocienne Petit Jackson. And stay safe. Stay safe.